Hello and welcome to another edition of Ken Questions. I'm Ken McKim and tonight we're going to be talking about fibromyalgia. Real or not real? So, I've discussed at length in other videos about the fact that people who have a chronic illness are constantly being asked to prove how sick they are. Whether it's to their employers, their extended families, their spouses or significant others. And that's really a shame because people who have a chronic illness have enough to deal with without always having their motives and their illness itself questioned at every turn. I think it's probably harder for those who have fibromyalgia because unlike so many other diseases, there's not what is referred to as a clear disease pathway for fibro. So what do I mean by that? Well, generally speaking, if you have a disease like the mumps, the measles, the flu, a scientist can go to a lab, look at your blood or a stool sample or tissue sample and say, okay, when I see X or Y here, that means Z. In this case, Z would be the disease, whether it's cancer, flu, mumps, measles, whatever. But for fibro, for so long, there has not been that distinct pathway. There's been no link. There's been a collection of symptoms, and those symptoms can vary widely from person to person. And so, without that direct link, the subject of fibromyalgia has been one of great debate, even inside the medical community as well as society at large, as to whether or not it's a legitimate disease. People with fibromyalgia usually arrive at that diagnosis after spending a lot of money to have their doctors rule out a whole bunch of other diseases. And then what you're left with is, well, fibromyalgia, by process of elimination. And that's just not good enough in a lot of people's minds to prove that it's real. Now, any person who has fibromyalgia will tell you that yes, the pain they're experiencing is very real, but we in society, when it comes to pain at least, want a lot of proof. So, that poses the question again, fibromyalgia, is it real or not? Duh, yes, of course it's real, and we can prove it. We can finally prove it. And you know what that means? That means that all the naysayers who doubted its existence are going to get to eat a big steaming bowl of I told you so. So what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the efforts of Dr. Bruce S. Gillis and a team of researchers at the University of Illinois College of Medicine at Chicago. Now, they conducted this 2-year study, and during that study, they compared people with fibromyalgia to healthy people. And in every single case, the people who had fibromyalgia all shared the same underlying characteristic. The results that were uncovered via our research have finally been able to tear back the curtain and reveal that there is a specific pathway in fibromyalgia, and it defines fibromyalgia as an immunologic medical disorder. This disorder relates to the production of protein molecules called cytokines by a certain type of white blood cell, and the identification of this pathway has created the first objective test capable of making the diagnosis of fibromyalgia. So the next step, of course, is to figure out what is causing the cytokines production. And hopefully learning that will lead to better, more effective therapies for those who have fibromyalgia and maybe eventually to a cure. But it means so much more than that. It means that there is finally proof for all the people who are demanding that proof be shown. It's sad that with this particular disease, there are so many people who refuse to believe its existence. But fibro people knew all along that what they were experiencing was the real thing. And now there can be no doubt. So really, I guess there's only one question left. And that is to all the naysayers and all the doubters. How would you like your big steaming bowl of I told you so served to you? Hot or cold? This is an amazing discovery, and I've posted the link to the original article in the video description below. You can click on that. I recommend you do click on it and read the article for yourself. It's quite exciting. And there's another link on his page that'll take you to the homepage of the company that's offering the test, and you can read up more about it there and see if you qualify to take the test. So, exciting news all around. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have for this week. As always, feel free to send me any questions you may have to ken@don'tpunishpain.com. Remember that you can also follow me over on Twitter @don'tpunishpain. And until next time, as always, I'm Ken McKim. You take care.